Asked to keep the audience awake post lunch. That's why?
Session is given to you.
Oh, that's why. Oh. There are some people who are so apt in killing by their kindness that you can't expect what designs they were up to. Thank you very much. Distinguished speakers for the day, the student community here, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's indeed a matter of privilege for me to be here once again. The premises are not new to me. But the topic is so wide in its ramifications that I feel a little diffident. Diffident on two counts. One diffidence is my inborn diffidence, which I always capture in the words which were sung by Jagjit Singh. कुछ इसी तरह हम अपने दिल को यूं ही बहलाते हैं, कुछ इसी तरह हम अपने दिल को यूं ही बहलाते हैं, जिन चीजों को खुद नहीं समझे औरों को समझाते हैं. And that's my honest diffidence.
You can put it in English also, sir.
Certainly not in poetry, but translation, yes, to the best of my ability. It pleases me to sort of engage myself in an activity like this, that whatever I don't understand, I make an effort that others should understand. The recession, the downturn, the globalization, strategy, HR, very many words have been used in this topic, and therefore each topic by itself can take days-long deliberations to really come to kind of an idea as what it entails. What I will do is, I will confine myself to three areas. One, very briefly, what are the challenges in terms of the recession and globalization which are facing our industries? And second, bring to bear on them whatever little experience I have had in this context while working in the business segment. And obviously I come from oil and petrochemical industry, so there might be a tinge of experience which will flow out of that. First, let us take the case of what we call the strategic challenges which are there in the domain of economics. Until a few years ago, let's say about a decade or two ago, it was the politics which was dictating the economic policy. Political dogma, whether I was a communist, for all the 3 days this would be coming up time and again. But there are certain differences which we must understand. The differences are, in 1947 when India became independent, our GDP profile was different. We had 50% GDP coming out of agriculture, almost 35 out of industry and 15 out of services. Today it is just the inverse. It is 55-60% coming out of services sector, less than 20 coming out of agriculture and balance out of industry. What does this shift mean? This is one shift. The second shift which is there, obviously that has also been touched upon, is what we call the festival orientation, which is an integral part of Indian culture, systems and processes. If it is not recognized, what will happen? I have seen cases where the children have been hit by an accident in Chennai, and the company's managing director says, the father says, sir, I have to go there, my son is admitted to a hospital, he met with an accident. Managing director says, are you a doctor? He says, no. He says, what the hell will you do there? I will organize all the best possible doctor there, but you better work here. Can you value emotions, relationships in terms of money? Indian culture is patently different from those cultures. Therefore, a thing like leave becomes a very critical HR issue. You may give money as much as you can, but you can't buy the heart, the love and affection of that person here. I'll give one more case. In one of the cases, there was a disaster situation, and therefore people worked overnight and kept the plants running and so on and so forth. The question came up, how should they be rewarded? Now the two cultures differ. This is out of my own consulting experience I am sharing with you. The question came up as to how should they be rewarded. One company gave the money, some gifts, some vouchers and so on and so forth. The other company did nothing. They did not give anything. Now when the executives were asked that in a neighboring company you got this, in this company nothing has been given, said yes, it's absolutely fine, we don't expect anything from my company. What is the reason? The reason is that when I am in distress, it is the entire company which is behind me. So when today the company is in distress, it is my moral obligation to stand by them. Therefore I don't expect anything in return. Can you value this in terms of money? Can you value the engagements in terms of which company will have greater attrition or retention issues? Obviously the one where the heart of people is engaged. घर में जब बच्चा पढ़ता नहीं है तो हम उसको बोलते हैं बेटा दिल लगा के पढ़ो. कभी बोला है दिमाग लगा के पढ़ो? Nobody has ever said दिमाग लगा के पढ़ो. They have always talked दिल लगा के पढ़ो. This is the question of engagement. Now therefore those companies where the people and employees are engaged will have no issue at all in terms of facing any strategic issue of management in terms of competition. No issues at all. But if the engagement level is low and the ship starts even the hint that it is going to sink, all the rats will be flying off at the first available opportunity. When the going is not good, beggars can't be choosers. Therefore, if I don't have an option, I'll continue in the organization. But the moment I get an option, I'll say goodbye and go away. Now therefore, when the strategic issues in terms of survival and growth of the organization have to be discussed, it becomes what time frame we are looking at. If we are looking at a long-term perspective of survival and growth, to travel that much longer better, I think we have done our job. Thank you very much.